is how I started cubing. Firstly, my brother had a Rubik's Cube. Now, I didn't actually have a Rubik's Cube, so I had to use my brother's one instead. So I was using my brother's Rubik's Cube and spending many hours trying to match up all the colours, but it just never happened. What I did manage to achieve is to get one side solved, and I was very happy about that. Then I stopped for a while because I kind of got bored of it, but later on, my friends were playing with the Rubik's Cube a lot, and this actually inspired me to start playing with the Rubik's Cube again. Again, I was using my brother's Rubik's Cube. I still had the skill to be able to solve one side, but what's next, I thought? To try and solve two sides, and that's what most beginners would think in this case. So I was trying to solve a whole side of white and a whole side of yellow. This took ages. It was much harder than solving a whole side of yellow. Even being able to solve one side was very hard, but solving two was so much harder. But eventually I managed to solve a whole side of white and a whole side of yellow. But what's next? The remaining four sides. So, how could I possibly manage to solve the remaining four sides? It was really hard to even manage to solve two sides because I had to concentrate on all the pieces where the other side were going. But two different sides I had to keep an eye on while I was solving the other side. That was just too hard. Whenever I tried solving the remaining four sides, it always didn't turn out great, and the pieces of the other side were getting messed up. It was just a huge problem for me. So then I decided to look up on YouTube for some techniques. Now, I wasn't looking up on YouTube for how to solve a Rubik's Cube because I didn't know that there was a method for solving a Rubik's Cube. I just wanted to look up on YouTube for some techniques, like how to get good at a Rubik's Cube. When I searched it up, I was actually quite surprised because I didn't know that there was actually going to be a method for solving a Rubik's Cube. When I clicked on the videos, they seemed way too complicated to me. Well, that was just what I kind of felt at the time. And then I gave up. Later, my uncle passed by and he could solve a Rubik's Cube. So he solved my Rubik's Cube. And I was like, how? Is there like a much easier method for solving it? I asked him how to solve it. There was only time for him to teach me the first layer, and after that, he just finished it off for me. When it was solved, I tried to scramble it up in a certain number of moves, and then pretend I can solve it by doing those moves backwards. So I started off with one move, then two moves, then three moves, four moves, 5 moves, 6 moves, 7 moves, 8 moves, and so on until eventually I had a scrambled up Rubik's Cube. And I just wanted to get my Rubik's Cube solved again. When it was all scrambled, I tried using the method that my uncle taught me, but I forgot it all. So I had to look it up all over again, and this time, instead of thinking it's too complicated, I can't do this, I actually believed in myself and actually put a bit of effort into learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I tried. I was able to get the first two layers solved pretty fine, but it was the last layer that I found pretty hard, because for the last layer you have to actually learn algorithms. It was mainly permuting the last layer that I found difficult, and mainly the A-perm-alg, because the alg I used was using B moves, and I wasn't very comfortable with B moves back then. It took me ages to learn the U-perm-alg, but I learned the U-perm-alg before the A-perm-alg. And when I knew the U-perm-alg, I was just thinking, I know how to solve it. So I decided not to learn the A-perm-alg. All I did is when I had oriented my last layer, I checked if the corners were all matching. And if they were matching, then I would have straight away done U-perms, and then I was done. But if they weren't matching, then I would scramble up the entire cube, and I would have kept on doing that until I get to a case where the corners are matching, so I could do U-perms. But I was doing this for a while, and I was seeing some really slow times in my solves. So I thought I actually need to know how to solve a Rubik's Cube for real. Actually know the aperm-alg. So how did I do that? It took me quite a while to actually learn the aperm-alg, but I pushed myself and actually was able to learn the alg. And eventually I was able to solve a cube for real. Since then, I've been competing in cubing competition and have taken cubing seriously ever since. How did you guys start cubing? Tell me in the comments. Happy cubing.